I never imagined silence could destroy me. The morning I woke up and realized my voice was gone, the world around me shifted. My husband's face blurred with fear. My students waited for words that would never come, and I stood there, trapped inside my own body. I had spent 25 years speaking without pause, teaching, laughing, comforting, scolding, never realizing that one day I would be forced to face the one thing I feared most, my own silence. What I didn't know then was that losing my voice would change everything I believed about strength, love, and myself. I had always considered my voice my greatest asset. 25 years of life had taught me that words could move mountains, comfort the grieving, inspire children, and sometimes even heal myself. My days began early. I would wake to the soft creak of the wooden floorboards in our small house, brew chai for Raj, and then prepare for school. Every morning, my students awaited me with eager eyes. They didn't know how much I depended on them to remind me that my voice mattered. The day it happened was ordinary in every sense. The sun filtered softly through the curtains, birds chirped, the kettle hissed, and I called out, "Good morning!" Only nothing came out. I opened my mouth again, trying to force it, but all that escaped was silence. My heart raced. Raj noticed immediately. "Are you okay?" he asked, concern etched across his face. I shook my head, unable to explain. Panic clawed at my chest as I realized that my voice, my identity, had been stolen overnight. The doctor's words were clinical, almost cruel in their simplicity. Vocal cord paralysis. It may improve, or it may not. Days turned into weeks. My world became a strange choreography of gestures, notes, and exaggerated expressions. I carried a notebook everywhere, scribbling short sentences to communicate basic thoughts. "I'm fine." "Yes." "Thank you." The act of writing felt mechanical, devoid of emotion. Raj tried to fill the silence with small kindnesses, warm meals, soft music, gentle touches. But even he missed the sound of my laughter echoing through the house. I missed it too. Most of all, I missed the effortless way words had once connected me to the world. I discovered early that silence can be both liberating and punishing. Without my voice, people assumed I was fragile or broken. Teachers, colleagues, even friends tiptoed around me, unsure how to respond, and I felt my confidence crumble. One evening, unable to bear the claustrophobic quiet of the house, I walked to the lake. The wind rustled the trees, water rippled gently, and for the first time since losing my voice, I felt small relief. Nature spoke in ways my ears and eyes could understand, without demanding words in return. In that moment, I began to see that silence could teach me patience, reflection, and awareness. The weeks that followed were a lesson in observation. I noticed details I had previously ignored, the way Raj's fingers trembled when he was anxious, the subtle change in my daughter's tone when she hid sadness, the way sunlight filtered differently across the garden each season. I began to journal. My pen became my voice. I wrote letters I never sent, reflections on my fears, regrets, and dreams. With every stroke, I discovered facets of myself I had long ignored, the quiet resilience I had never valued, the patience buried under decades of hurried words, and a surprising capacity for empathy. I also realized that listening is an art I had never mastered. Without words, I had to observe, to sense, to truly understand. Conversations were no longer about responding, but about witnessing, absorbing, and being present. The weeks that followed were a lesson in observation. I noticed details I had previously ignored, the way Raj's fingers trembled when he was anxious, the subtle change in my daughter's tone when she hid sadness, the way sunlight filtered differently across the garden each season. I began to journal. My pen became my voice. I wrote letters I never sent, reflections on my fears, regrets, and dreams. With every stroke, I discovered facets of myself I had long ignored, the quiet resilience I had never valued, the patience buried under decades of hurried words, and a surprising capacity for empathy. I also realized that listening is an art I had never mastered. Without words, I had to observe, to sense, to truly understand. Conversations were no longer about responding, but about witnessing, absorbing, and being present. Life without a voice taught me that strength was internal, not vocal. I confronted long buried regrets, words I had spoken in anger, apologies never given, and dreams left unfulfilled. Silence forced me to reconcile with my past, slowly untangling guilt and resentment. I also reconnected with hobbies long abandoned. Painting became meditation, journaling became therapy, and walks through the city streets became exercises in observation and mindfulness. Raj and I learned a new rhythm. We laughed through gestures, shared quiet dinners, and grew more intimately aware of each other's moods and emotions. Silence had transformed our relationship from convenience to deep connection. A year after losing my voice, some words returned. They were fragile at first, mere whispers that required concentration. Speaking became deliberate, a thoughtful act instead of a reflex. Each word was precious, a reminder of the fragility of sound and the strength of presence. I published my journals as a book, The Language of Quiet, sharing my journey and the lessons silence had taught me. Letters poured in from readers. Your story spoke to me even without words. I finally understand listening. My experience had become a bridge for others, showing that strength and voice exist in many forms. I walked to the lake where I first embraced silence. The water shimmered, birds called softly, and I felt an extraordinary calm. Noise no longer overwhelmed me. I had learned that true courage lies in patience, presence, and empathy. Qualities cultivated in quiet, away from the demand to be heard. Losing my voice did not end my life. It transformed it. Silence, once terrifying, became my teacher. It revealed truths words often obscure, taught me the value of listening, and connected me to the world in ways I had never imagined. If you ever lose your voice, whether to illness, circumstance, or fear, embrace the quiet. Strength exists not just in speaking, but in being. Sometimes the loudest truths are those we never utter aloud.